What is arguably one of the most popular things to be able to craft in Diablo 2 Resurrected are Caster Amulets, with the potential for what can roll be not only valuable to your own build, but for those that are in the trading community, be worth a lot more high runes than you even realize. Today, we're going to be discussing the basics of crafting Caster Amulets, as far as what could potentially roll on the amulet, the recipe you'd use to be able to craft them, going over the character level and item level importances when it comes to gambling for the base amulets, and we're going to round everything off with trying to craft some for ourselves to be able to see what could potentially roll in hopes of getting a really good GG one that I can use on one of my characters. All the information I'm going to be discussing in this video are going to be coming from crafting guides, for which if you want to go ahead and check them out, there's going to be links down in the description below for you to be able to click on to be able to get additional information on top of everything we're going to be discussing today. Before we get into the video, let's do the comment shout out, and today's is going to be
George Sterling IV, whom ironically found his own Metal Grid while watching my build guide going over the new Novasork build using Metal Grid, as well as Quiet Lightning, whom rolled Last Wish for his birthday. Granted that the shoutout is long past when the comment was made, but I hope you've been enjoying the rune word since then.
Let's get into the video.
What is a Caster Amulet? It's a type of amulet that is created using a Herodric Cube recipe, of which, when transmuted, has a guarantee to roll with
a varying 5% through 10% faster cast rate, regenerate mana varying between 4% and 10%, and a varying 10 to 20 to mana. However, that's not what they're limited to. They can also roll with many desired mods or stats, for which the more preferable ones, generally speaking, are +2 to either a character or specific skill tree, increasing the faster cast rate up to 20%, life, mana, strength, dexterity, resistances, both in a single resistance and up to all resistances, magic find, gold find, life leech, mana leech, and teleport charges for those wanting an alternative to using Enigma or a teleport staff. With the most desirable rolls including 2 to a specific skill tree or particular character, as well as 20% faster cast rate on top of as many of the aforementioned affixes as possible to increase the amulet's value significantly, not only for any one of your caster builds, but for those in the trading community. What is the crafting recipe? It is a magic blue amulet, a Ral rune, perfect amethyst, and any jewel. For more crafting recipes, make sure to check out my previously made video, which is a beginner's guide of the Herodric Cube recipes that you should be using from normal all the way into endgame. If you're going the route of gambling for the amulets instead of using what drops from specific areas in the game, use a character of at least level 93 to gamble and craft amulets. That way, every amulet has the 100% chance to be able to get +2 to either a character or specific skill tree. Because your character level being at 93 means that the negative range when it comes to gambling with -5 would make the lowest item level with the amulet being 88. So any item level 88 amulets will work. That and magic amulets drop from champions and boss packs in level 85 areas, or from Hell Diablo, Nilithak, and Bale will work as well. The reason for this is, to my understanding, because I haven't really seen this thoroughly explained anywhere, is because throughout the game, if you were to exclude the Act bosses and the new Terror Zones, the highest item level for which you can see drop is going to be 88, and that would come from the champions and the boss packs when it comes to the level 85 areas, as their monster level is going to be higher than the regular monsters that you would find in the exact same levels. They would be at 88, as everything else would be at 85. Now, the most ideal role for the plus to skills, especially for those that are wanting to use multiple different builds with the same character, would be plus to character skills comparatively speaking to a skill tree. The reasoning for this is, if it was to roll to the skill tree that you want to use primarily, that's still a great amulet to use. Unfortunately though, it only affects one of the skill trees. Comparatively speaking to plus to character skills would affect all 3 of the skill trees. For those that are really trying to min and max their build to be able to get the fullest potential out of it, to be able to not put extra hard points where it wouldn't be necessary. However, do understand that it's still going to take 1 hard point into the other skill trees to be able to unlock all the other skills that you would be using for that build. Depending on the demands for your build, making a GG Caster Amulet can be the best in slot for you. But don't disregard those amulets with less than perfect FCR, or even those with less than 10% FCR, as many only focus on the 15 plus FCR rolls. For those that are new to understanding breakpoints, the amount of FCR that matters to have on your build is whatever you need to be able to get to specific breakpoints. Nothing more, nothing less. What this means is, for example, the Druid has a 99 FCR breakpoint. So if you have enough FCR on your items to be able to reach that 99 FCR breakpoint, that's perfect. However, if for example, you have 5 to 10% FCR past a breakpoint that doesn't bring you to the next breakpoint, then the additional FCR that you're using does nothing for your build. Even if you're 1 point below the FCR breakpoint you desire, you don't get the benefit of the FCR you're using between breakpoints. So it's important to understand that even a 10% FCR or less roll on your Caster Amulet can be beneficial to you if it helps you to reach the preferred breakpoint, especially if it has additional mods or stats you would really want or need on your build. For more information on the specifics, as well as to better understand the calculations, please make sure to check the link to the crafting guide down below. as Quorra put in a lot of effort to make such an amazing and thorough guide, and hopefully it'll help you to better understand any questions you may have outside of what we covered in this video. I will also have a link to the guide going over the different monster stats and the levels for which they can roll, the same one that I used when going over my gambling videos, in case you want to further look into them as well. Now that we discussed the basics of crafting Caster Amulets, let's go ahead and put it all to the test in hopes of getting one that I can actually use on one of my builds. Now, realistically speaking, I completely understand that with only 50 chances in hopes of getting a 220, the odds of it happening are incredibly low. However, if I was to by some miracle actually get a 220, I would hope it'd be a lot better than that one that I got last time I tried this. Unfortunately, it's an amulet that I didn't see any use from a barbarian, and even to this day, I really can't see myself actually using it at all. Unfortunately, it didn't roll to all barbarian skills or to just simply another character, and hopefully again with this video, I will get another chance to be able to see if I can actually get a 220 or just something really good to be able to use on my characters. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Bruh.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. Today, is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time. I'm not in the mood to play with anybody.
But I'm not done yet.
Now for the results, these are the ones that I felt were worth mentioning. None of these are really GG, nor will I be rushing out to use any of them for any of my current builds, but this is just to show the rolls and to see the potential of what you can actually get. The first two on the top are the ones with all res, but the ones that show percentages, as there's one higher than the other three. The Paladin one isn't usable, especially with having a level 89 requirement, but of the two, the Amazon one would have a better chance of being used, especially with the lightning being higher, and the extra gold find is nice. However, Magic Find would have been a much preferable roll. The next three to the right are the ones with Magic Find, the first one having the lowest amount, but it has average gold find on it as well. The other two having 20% magic find, with the paladin one being much better than the druid one as far as being able to compare the additional stats that rolled on it. Switching the energy roll to have either decent or high life would have made this considerable to use if needing the extra push of FCR for a breakpoint. The one below it is one that my zealot potentially could have used with the fact that it has dual leech on it, but without higher FCR, this one will unfortunately not see any use. The following 5 are all ones that have all res, starting with the 8 on the left and having all the way up to 18 on the right. The only one I could see myself using of these would be the Poison and Bone one to help level up an early Hell Necro, depending on the breakpoint I'd be trying to get with all my remaining gear. But other than that, all the other rolls with +2 to skills unfortunately rolled unfavorable to consider using. And it hurts to say even with the Fire Skills one, I prefer for it to roll with +2 Sorcerer skills to be able to use on other builds as well. The next two down are the ones with higher FCR and have dual res, with the first one having the better rolls toward the more important resistances. The next 3 are the ones that have no + skills, but have high FCR, with the last having 20. The first 2 are the better rolled ones, depending on the demand that you would have for your build, as the first has more favorable mods or stats, unfortunately not the best rolls, and the second one has help with resistances, especially the higher fire res. The bottom 3 are all of the 219s that I rolled, none of which unfortunately are really useful, and the very last one to the side is the 220 that I rolled, unfortunately not to druid skills, but to summoning skills. And then there's the 220 Warcry amulet from trying to craft Caster Amulets back in Pluggy next to it. Unfortunately, I'm very unlucky when it comes to crafting Caster Amulets, but hopefully that translates into me taking all the bad RNG so you can have much better rolls for all of you guys that are watching the video this far.
And that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We were able to learn something about crafting Caster Amulets, and we're able to see if maybe crafting any of them would be beneficial for any one of your builds, and if not, at least just enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video comes out.
Come on. Come on. Come on, then. There you are. There you are.
And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a like. It really is appreciated to be able to help my channel to grow. And if you want to see more of my Diablo 2 Resurrected content, there's going to be a card in the corner up above that I suggest you go check out with a lot of videos already in the playlist, with even more coming in the very near future. Other than that, I hope you guys are staying safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.